Alright, so I threw the General on the truck. We're gonna run into town here to Moab Moab side by side, and they're gonna throw a fan override switch in, just so I could turn the fan to the radiator on a little bit faster, instead of having to wait for it to get to 205, 207 before it cools down. So here we go. Okay, so you just cruise down the main street here. They're back in the back here. Coming up here soon. That's the Silver Stage Inn. Little sign here. Moab side by side. Adventures and Garage. And they're in the back.
Very nice.
Right back there. So I've talked to them twice so far. So far it's been a good experience. We'll see how this goes. There's new 32s on the General. Loaded up on the rack, sitting in front of Moab side by side.
Highly recommend it.
Highly recommend them. They put in an override switch for me for my fan, and while I was here, went ahead and traded my old tires in and got these. Haven't heard of the brand before, but I like the tire. I don't want to unload them right now, but I'd like to put that spare tire up against this and see how much bigger. These here, they claim that they are as close to real measurement as possible. So, quite a bit bigger tire. So we're gonna go for a spin here in a moment and see how they do. So I don't know if it's showing it all here, but I headed out. We were heading out in the General, and this storm started rolling in, and it feels like our trailer's gonna roll over. It's blowing so hard. Probably none of this is showing, but it's hot out, and then it was hailing. That guy over there, they dropped their little canopy thing down, and they're standing underneath it holding it.
This is weird.
They're probably trying to tie it to the table.
Should we go help them?
No, they got like 6 people over there. Yeah, if the wind changes direction, it'll probably blow my bike over. I just went out there and brought the chairs in and that little table there. I don't think I would have them anymore if I hadn't. Although this guy's rug over here hasn't moved yet. It's blocked by us. Wow, this is rocking the trailer. Yeah, how much water is going to make its way in here?
Please don't say that. Did you stop saying that?
This thing isn't hurricane proof.
Could you stop saying
Oh man, that's crazy.
that? And the thunder and light.
Over here, you were able to see all the way over to Arches National Park, and even with the storm coming in, you could see the dark spots and when it was raining. And then this cloud came in that's all the way down on the ground, and just everything turned gray. So then you have no idea when the hard part, the bad part's going to hit.
Well, say it's going to be like this until at least 9.
Until at least 9, and it's like set, so hour and a half. Wow, that's crazy.
Well, it drops down to 20% at 10. This is only 60% chance of rain.
So if we had made it where we were going, which is out back here, which is a wash, if we were out there and this came in on us, we would have been screwed, because there would have been flash floods coming down through there, because part of that area behind us is you ride in the wash. We would have been just pedal down, flying as fast as we could to get back if we were out there. Wow. Moab is beautiful.
Isolated showers are
Okay, so in this one you'll see that we have those big, I think they're called Bershikers, something like that. Anyway, those big 32-inch tires on there, and then you're not going to ever see them again. They did not work out for us. So in this video, between when I show you the tires and the rainstorm, is when we headed out to go for a little spin. And we took off, and you go out towards the highway, and you drive alongside the highway there and get to the gate. We were going to go to that area back behind us and check out Sovereign Trail and some stuff like that. Do a little short run before the day was over. Because it took a good part of the day. You know, we went down there to put the switch in, and the wife wasn't real comfortable since we had an issue with that circuit breaker going. She thought it would be a good idea to have that override switch in case we had a problem like that again. We could just flip the switch on, since we're out in the middle of nowhere and we're all by ourselves. It's like, not a bad idea. So that's the reason we went in to get the override switch. And why are they doing that? You know, you're standing around, you're looking at these piles and piles of tires. They have lots of tires there. And that one caught my eye, and I've been wanting 32s. It's like, wow, that's nice. And then we worked the deal, and I threw them on. Real excited, and start to head out from the camp there. The first spot you come out, and there's asphalt, and you go and you drop off in the dirt, and the tire's rubbed. I was like, what? I've done all the measuring and checked everything, and a 32 should clear this. Plus, there's other YouTubers out there that have 32s on these XPs. This doesn't make any sense. So we're going a little farther. We're also, no, it was right after that we rubbed, and that was weird. And then we hit a bump, and it damn near threw the wife forward. And it's like, that's weird. Usually a lot smoother ride. And I only had 10 pounds in these tires. So if the tires size-wise would have worked out, we probably would have run those things at, you know, only a couple of pounds, just because the sidewall was so stiff. They might have softened up after time. And there's other people in the area that are running those and love them. And I think part of that might be that the tire either breaks in later, or maybe the tire that they had previously was stiff, so they don't, you know, they're not bothered by that. Where the tires that come on these XPs have got a lot of sidewall squish, but yet they seem to hold up pretty good, at least so far. And I usually run them at about 10 pounds. And so they were a little rougher, and they were rubbing. And then we got to some other stuff, and we're just cruising. I'm going straight. And you got to flex out the suspension on some of the rocks. And it just, whoa, what is that? And I get out, and I'm looking at it, studying it. Let's see, does this show up here? So right in this area right here, there's actually still a scratch mark. The tires just buried into the plastic. And I start looking at it. You turn the tires different directions, and you try to figure out, it's like, okay, well, a wheel with more offset, is that going to help? And it don't look like it will. This here, is this going to help? That don't look like it will. And then we're looking up, and we're seeing the clouds in the sky turning black. And I'm thinking, I probably should head back. These tires are just going to piss me off with all the rubbing. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So then the sky decided to just start to open up. It made the decision a lot easier. And you'll see that in the video, depending on where I put this into the video anyway. You're going to see it. it just started dumping. It went from warm to hail falling down. We didn't have the windows in like it is right now. And so it's just blowing in and just pounding us. So it's a good thing that storm hit. Otherwise, I might have gone farther along. I don't know, with the tire rubbing. But man, that thing dumped a lot of water. So, as you can see here, the 30s are back on. So, the next day, I went and visited them again. And we worked out a deal, and I bought my old tires back. He was more than fair with me on the situation. So I'm still very pleased with that company, Moab side by side. And I think that tire would be a great tire in other situations. It just didn't work for us. So what we had found out is the reason I was rubbing so much is they claim that that tire is as close to true size as possible. Well, guess what? That 32 measures 33.5 inches tall. It's like, no wonder it rubbed. So, we did some research, and he has the owner of the place has a 4-seat RZR that has portals and 37-inch tires. And then I started looking at those while they were swapping my tires out and getting my stock ones back. And I started noticing that his tires have this exact tread. Whoop, not this one, sorry. They have the tread of the back tire. And I start looking at the pattern on the side, everything about it. It's like, man, that must be made by the same company. But they weren't called crawlers. And I'm talking to one of the guys, the guy that actually wired up the switch, and he was saying, oh man, his side-by-side, he goes out there across the bumps and it's just like glass. And I go, yeah, this thing's pretty soft too, and the tires squish, they help absorb some of the energy. The suspension is working good. Like, I wonder if they have a 32 from this company. So I looked it up, and I found out that is the company that makes these crawlers. So the smaller tires, the 32 and below, I believe it is. Don't hold me to it. It was a couple of months ago, this video I'm posting late. There's the 32 and down is called a crawler. The 35 and 37 is called what his tires say. So I started studying that. So they have a 32 that is not DOT approved, just like these ones are not DOT approved. But they also have a 32-inch race tire. It's a racing series, and it is DOT approved. So I might do some more research on that in the future. And I might wind up trying out that tire when I decide to go ahead and go to the 32-inch tire. Because I'm real pleased with the way these perform. Anyway, that's all I wanted to add to that. So now that I've described why you won't see those tires on my machine in future videos, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can see more content just like this. Or maybe even better. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.